All right, guys, it is workout number 2. And this is a different workout than the last one. We're changing the format just a little bit. Don't worry, I'll guide you right through it. But we are working our big leg muscles, our back muscles, and our biceps. And we are doing a traditional format, meaning we are working big muscles to little muscles. So let's warm up, and then I'll kind of explain where we're going. Make sure that you have your tracker sheet out. You have some weights. You have plenty of room to work. And yeah, let's get going. So legs are going to go nice and wide for what I like to call a sumo squat position. So you're just going to drop down and stand up, pressing the knees out, pressing into those pinky toes as you lower down as well. And let's warm up into the biceps. Squeeze the elbows and reach out. Squeeze and reach. Good. And again, these warm-ups are more of a functional warm-up, meaning that we're not going to spend a ton of time doing some kind of getting on a treadmill and cardiovascular warm-up. It's more to get our body ready to move. From here, pull down and push up, moving into more of a lat pull, warming up our back. So as you pull those elbows down, really squeeze back behind your body and push to the skies. Squeeze and push. Make sure my mic's on. Had a moment of panic there. Squeeze and push. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Shake it out. All right, we work out in kind of 3 chunks in these workouts that we do that are not full body, that are part to part. So our first 3 exercises are squat and then back row on both sides of the body. Let me show you where we're going. You're going to need a heavy weight. You can have a dumbbell, you can have a plate. You know, if you're at a gym, you can even get on a bar, nice and heavy, kind of a full rack squat if you want to. But we're going to have the weight in our hands. Our feet are just a little outside our hip, squatting down to the bottom, up to the top. Just traditional squat, down and up. Then we move immediately in, and I like to do my right hand first, just kind of comes naturally. Lean over my leg, pull into a back row, squeeze, and then we switch to the other side. You can also find something like I have a bench here that you can press down on and go into a back row here. Kind of nice little option. There you go. Those are our first exercises. We're going to do 8 to 12 of each of these exercises. Remember, if you're getting to 12 easily, you need a heavier weight. If you're barely able to get to 8, then you need a lighter weight. We're aiming for somewhere in between. We want to stop before our form gets bad. Once we do all 3 of these, we're going to take a little rest, but only for as long as it is for 2 minutes to pass. So you have 2 minutes to do 8 to 12 squats, 8 to 12 back rows on each arm. Okay? If it doesn't make sense now, it will. We're going to do that 3 times through. We go in 30 seconds. I've got your time. You just worry about getting the exercise done. Go ahead and grab your heavy weight. We're starting with those squats in about 20 seconds. So remember, you want those feet to start under the hips and maybe heel toe out just a little wider, toes point out slightly. That's going to be your natural neutral squat position. 10 seconds. Bring that weight up. Hold it here. You can hold it here, however you really want to hold it. Hold it up nice and high, and let's go. 8 to 12 squats. Dropping the hips and standing tall. Keep the chest lifted. Press into those heels. 8 to 12. And you can move at a quicker pace if you want to. Remember, I'm not here to show you all the reps. I'm here to help guide you with the form. So we've got 8 to 12 squats. Dropping and lifting. After you've done 8 to 12, you have your setup for your back row. So you can decide, where do I go with this? If I just want to support on my leg, squeezing. What we want to avoid is staying nice and high up and pulling here, because that means that we're going to get up into our shoulder. So we want to lean over so this is targeting those big muscles in our back. Once we've done 8 to 12 one side, we flip, go to the other side, 8 to 12. And like I said before, if you want to support somewhere else, leaning over and squeezing, getting into the back, Nice. And after you've done 8 to 12, you can have a second for the weight to go down. And we're going to go. We have about 45 seconds until we start again. And maybe you took up all 2 minutes. That's okay. Just get back on board and start again. If you have a little break, shake it out. We're going to get ready to go again in a moment. Now you know what it looks like. We have that 2 more times through. Okay, so you'll get used to this format as we go. But I just want you to understand kind of what we're doing in the chunks. If you want to put a little box around the exercises that we're doing together on your tracker sheet, go ahead and do that. It might help you if you want to take these tracker sheets and do this without the video later on. We're going in 10 seconds for our second set. So let's go ahead and grab the weight, setting up for those squats, and go. Drop and push. That's it. 8 to 12. Now, something to think about on these squats is that our chest is lifted. We're sitting and standing. We're not hinging and standing. That's a really common thing, sometimes more in females, to not sit down. We kind of hinge, really strong hamstrings. It just happens. So pay attention to your form. Maybe video yourself doing it and see what happens. That's what I like to do. We have 8 to 12 of those back rows on each side. Sometimes we think we're doing one thing, and then when we get some evidence of what's actually going on, we see that it's totally different than what we thought. Squeezing the elbow right behind us. And how did you do? Did you have to add weight this time? Did you have to go heavier? Did you have to go lighter? Leaning forward, 8 to 12 each arm. Squeeze. And again, I'm not counting reps, friends. So you're going to have to count your reps for yourself. I'm here to demo where we're going and to make sure that you get there. Squeezing and releasing. Nicely done. Take a break when you need to. We go in 40 seconds for our final round of squats and back rows. Feel free, if you need to write things down in your tracker, you can, but generally I kind of like to use this first 3-round set to figure out, a chunk of 3 sets, to figure out kind of what weight I need, how many reps I'm doing, because I haven't done these before, right? This is my first time through workout too. If it is your first time through. If not, you know what you're doing. All right, friends, this is going to be our final set, and then we're going to have a little longer break and time to work in our time to write in our workout tracker. Let's go. Dropping into squat, 8 to 12. Push. Really keep that chest lifted. Drop the hips back. Pressing. You got it. Awesome. Keep going with those squats. Sit the hips back. Chest lifted. Try not to gaze up at the sky either. Kind of a little drop in the chin. After you've done 8 to 12 there, go right into those back rows. Squeezing one arm. And you might not want to I always start with the right. It's just kind of a habit that I have. So maybe you actively change that. Maybe you decide you're going to start with your left. And maybe you vary it from time to time. Either way is fine. And you might notice one side is stronger than the other. So when you write down, if you notice on your workout tracker, I've separated out back row left and back row right so that you can make those edits on your workout tracker. And you can help your body know, hey, let's let this other side catch up a little bit. There's a little imbalance here. Totally natural, totally normal. Finish your squat and your back rows. And then you're going to get that workout tracker for workout 2. Write down everything that we just did that you need to know for next time. So that when you hit workout 2 again, you know, hey, this is what I did last time. Maybe I want to stay there. Maybe I want to add weight. Maybe I can do another rep. So you can watch yourself gradually get stronger. All right, we are going into our second chunk of exercises. And right now, you should be finished at the end of the 2 minutes of the third set. Grab water, write down your workout tracker. watch where we're going. So you will see here, just like in the back rows, there's some unilateral stuff, meaning we're only doing it on one side. So you have two different squares in that column to write down the different things, just in case it's not the exact same. It might be, it might not be. So here is our next set of 3 exercises. You're going to need heavy and then medium to light weights. So the first one is a single leg rear deadlift. Heavy weight in our hand, toe on the ground. We're dropping down to our knee and driving back up. Dropping down to our knee and driving back up with a flat back. So we're not rounding to our knee. We're pressing the chest through to the knee. You have an option if you want to try a couple times to find that balance. If you want, you definitely don't have to. All right. After 8 to 12 of those, step the leg back a little further, and we're going right into a lunge. So back heel is up, front heel stays down, knee tracks with toes, drop into that back knee, and stand up. That's our lunge. So the same leg stays back for both of those. Those are the first 2 exercises. You come in, then I like to trade out for we'll start with a medium weight. Biceps curls. Are we going to do rotator curls? I put that in? I sure did. So we start with the palms in, curl up till our palms are facing us, and back down. So palms at our sides, curl up, and back in. And that's going to stay the same the whole time. So you're going to get through 4 of sets of those. If you need to drop, have some lighter weights available to go down to, and then you'll make a note of when that happened. Cool? All right, so since we have some unilateral stuff, we are doing 4 sets of this, 2 minutes each. Okay, so we'll do right, left, right, left. Again, I'll walk you through it. All right, friends, we go in 40 seconds. So I want you to decide what weight you're doing. My heavy weight is a 15-pound today. My medium weight is a 10-pound. I'm going to start there on biceps, and then I might need to drop down to my 5 pounds. I even have some 8 pounds somewhere in there. I don't know. I'm not going to find them right now. But you can drop down much more gradually than half the weight like I have out here. All right, we go in 15 seconds. So let's go ahead and grab that heavy weight. Get set up. We're going to start with the right leg back. Tap the toe. Lift the chest. Bring it forward. And let's go 8 to 12 single leg deadlifts. So let's just start with the toe down. We're going to bring the weight to the knee and drive back up. So if this is your first time through this workout, let's just keep the toe down the whole time. You can try some balance on the next time we get to this side if you want to. Pressing through that heel, hinging at the hips. So my goal here is really finding pressure in that left leg, in the back of that left leg. Good. 8 to 12. Press and stand. Good. Getting all the way through this. After you've gotten through 8 to 12, step the leg back just a little bit, lift the chest. We're going to drop and stand into a lunge. Knee is in line with that toe, dropping that back knee down, lifting the chest straight into this lunge. Nicely done. And again, we're going 8 to 12. You can move faster than me if you need to. I'm just kind of showing you proper form. You also want to check in, though, make sure that front heel is staying down and it's the driver. After you've done 8 to 12 lunges, that's when you make the quick switch in weights. And you go to those rotator biceps curls, squeezing in and down. Rotating on the way up, rotating in on the way down. Squeeze and drop. That's it. And then as you get comfortable, you can pick it up. Now I want you to do both arms together for as long as you can. Drop down the weight if you need to keep both arms moving together, okay? Just see how many you can get through. After 8 to 12, take a little break. We're about to start. We go in 5 seconds, not a long break there. Your left leg is going to be back. Weights in your left hand. We're going right into that single leg deadlift on the left. Pressing down and up. So we're hinging. We're driving that chest forward. From here, I'll give you a little front view. Make sure that we're almost like we are teeter-tottering out over that toe. Slide down to the knee and up, pressing through the heel. Nice. Slide and press. After 8 to 12, we have a big step back. And we lunge, drop, and lift. Chest stays high. Oh, this knee loves to talk to me more. Lift and press. I don't know if you can hear all the crepitus there, all the knee crackling stuff. Press and lift. Drop and stand. Ooh, a little balance funky. That's okay. Down and up. And after 8 to 12, maybe that was a sign that I need to move on to show somebody what we're doing next. Back to those rotator curls. Nothing changed. So this is why I said have a drop down weight, because last time we just did 3 sets of everything. This time you've got 4 of the same exercise. It's not unilateral. We're not switching sides. We're doing the same exercise 4 times through. Nice. Squeeze and release. Again, after 8 to 12, we're going back to the right side. This is round 3 out of 4. Again, you can move through this much swifter. I'm showing you the form. We're going in 3 seconds. Grab the weight. Right leg back. Single leg deadlift. Knee and press. Your option could be to find some balance here, if you want. That's it. Nicely done. Drive and stand. Once you get through 8 to 12, we're going right into that lunge on this side. Right into the lunge. Drop and stand. Chest is lifted. Drive through the heel. After 8 to 12, pick up those weights. This is our 3rd time through. Let's go in to those rotator curls. Now, if this is getting heavy and you haven't yet, drop down to the next weight. So let's say I did 4. Drop down to the next weight. 5, 6, and I'll just make a note to myself, hey, on the 3rd set, I had to drop down. And I'll note what weight that was. Beautiful. All right, friends, when you're done with set 3, take a break. We're on our last set. So we're going through this 4 times. That was 8. 4 times on this second round. And if you want to, you can lump those last exercises in the white columns. So the bottom 3, the finishers, are always going to be yellow. Maybe you print it black and white and it's gray. Either way. In the white columns, the last, I guess it's really 5 written out because I have the 2 written out unilaterally. So you can chunk those together. So you'll know that you'll do those together 4 sets at 2 minutes. We are entering in our last set. When you're ready, stepping that left leg back, let's go. Drop and press. That's it. Press to that heel. Stay nice and tall. Once you've done 8 to 12, drop straight into that lunge, lifting the chest, pressing through that front heel, really driving. Drop the back knee, but then drive through the front heel. Lift the chest. Getting through 8 to 12 of these right here. You're probably getting tired of hearing me say 8 to 12, but that's our number. That's our theme number. Last things last, rotator curls. Now here's the thing. If you get down to the lightest weight and it's exhausting, you're like, I can't go any lighter, then here's what you do. 1 arm at a time. Okay, but challenge yourself to get all the way down to the lightest weight you have, before you go into this. Those are unilateral rotator curls, really alternating. We won't call them unilateral, we'll call them alternating. And when you have finished 8 to 12 of all of those, you have a little break. So write down what you did on your paper. I'm gonna grab a mat. I highly recommend you grabbing a mat as well. You know what, I'm gonna get one of these, a little lower profile, because that blue one was rolling up on me the other day. So we're gonna lay that out. Get ready to go. We are doing our finisher exercises. So your job, like last time, sorry if I keep looking down, I have the workout right here. Your job is to keep track of how many you are doing. This time, is with one exception. The elbow plank is literally just going to be a hold. It's going to be a mind over matter hold. So you should now be finished with that last set. Be writing everything down on your tracker sheet, grabbing water if you need it, and letting me show you where we're going. All right, we are going to start similar to our last workout in a bridge position, pressing those pinkies down. We're going to roll up and have a hold. From here, we march, we lift, we lower, we lift, we lower. Squeeze the glutes after every lower to reset the hips. So it's a squeeze and a slight tuck so we have a long line here. You have 1 minute of that. I'll give you time to do a quick recording. Then we'll flip over onto our belly, where you're going to push the toes in, lift the knees off, squeeze the bottom. Nothing leaves the mat back there. Okay, watch what happens. Hands come to my side for back extension. I lift and I lower, but I don't let my legs come unglued. I keep that engagement through my entire back body. If I want, I can do an alternating little lift here too. That's okay, but I don't let the legs lift. That's my back extension. I'm gonna end on elbow plank. Bring my elbows in, right under my shoulders, tuck my toes, push myself up, and then this is just gonna be a hold. We're not gonna keep track of any numbers. We can drop knees down here, kind of taking turns. We can drop both knees down. As a last resort, we can push our hips up a little bit, but we want to maintain a plank for the last minute. All right, friends, on our back, get ready. From here, press those pinkies down. We're gonna go into 1 minute. Sorry to move my weights. Bridge marching. We're gonna go in 15 seconds. So kind of reset for a second. Remember, your goal is high hips and then to march. Keep track of how many you do. Count, and I'm gonna give you a second to write it down. All right, friends, ready and go. Curl up and march. Knee in and down. Knee in and down. Squeeze, because you'll notice after a while, you'll start this kind of sinky thing, especially if you're going for speed. But can you stay up high and still go for speed? You've got to use the belly too. You can't just use the glutes. You got to squeeze the belly in a little bit to get those legs moving. Lift and lower. Tuck the chin a little bit. Make sure we're looking down along our body. We're not looking up at the ceiling or behind us. So slight tuck here. Zip that belly. Marching the legs. Pressing into this. Nicely done. Keep that squeeze going. If you need to pause the march, that's fine, but keep the bridge lifted. Remember, you're just counting for your total. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Quick drop, quick right of the total. Quick, quick, quick. Keep it close. Flip over, push the toes in, hands up by the temples, and lift. Back extension. Start counting numbers. Lift and lower. Now check the lower body. As you lift, push the tops of the toes down. The shoelace part of our foot. Push into the mat. Squeeze the bottom. Lift the knees off. Go for these back extensions. It's not height. It's correct form. Does it make it a little harder to lift high by pushing the lower body in? Absolutely. Does it activate the muscles in our back so that we don't get injured? Absolutely. Keep it going. If you want, you can go for these little side lifts, kind of working different parts of your back. I love these. They feel really good to my back. Get into the muscles that need it. Stay strong. You got 15 seconds. Lift and lower. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and write it down. Quick switch. Bring the elbows in. This is just a 1-minute hold. Tuck the toes and press yourself up into plank. Okay, we start here. Let's do a quick check-in. Push with the elbows. So we're kind of rounding between the shoulder blades, looking down at that mat. Not down our belly button, not way up forward, but down at the mat. Can we walk our feet kind of close together? Sorry, I had to look where mine were. Squeeze the booty a little bit. Then if we need to, the first thing we do is we start dropping one knee and then the next. Right? And that just kind of helps us in our journey toward holding a full elbow plank, which is what we really want. If we need to, we can drop both knees down. Stay zipped. Stay zipped. And then, hey, if you're like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm going to jump back into it. Then do it. Jump right back in. Squeeze, squeeze. You only have 15 seconds. Can we stay here? If you have to, let yourself press back just a little bit, but stay strong. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Oh, man. Press those elbows into the mat. Keep the toes pressing in and just kind of pull the chest through. Lifting, if you want, you can press up to the sky, making sure that you have a soft elbow, shoulders out of your ears, and you're also engaging that lower body. We're pushing the toes in. Good. Relaxing here. We're going to sit back on our heels, tuck the toes, just finishing up this workout together. As we crawl in, we're going to really sit back here. So you're just doing a little kind of dynamic stretch through the lower legs, some of the little muscles that we didn't necessarily work today, but potentially you got into in some of the bigger exercises. When you're ready, heels down, roll up. I just moved my mat out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. From here, we're going to go into a lunge position. Doesn't matter which leg's back. Drop the knee, tuck the tailbone under a little bit so that we're stretching through the front of the leg. If you want, press the arms forward, open up the back. Good, just kind of opens up in the body where we need to be. Standing in, pulling the foot in, sitting back, hands on your back, supporting leg, toe up, dynamic stretch through the hamstring. Toe down, bring yourselves up, opposite leg back. Big step. Why is that balance getting to me? Drop the knee, tuck the knee under. Again, we can press open for the back. Reaching, reaching. Back foot in, sit on that supported leg. The reason we don't put on this long leg is our leg is straight and we don't want to do any pressure, like put any undue pressure on this knee as it's extended, but we still want to get into the hamstring. Good, rolling this up. We can open wide and turn those thumbs down to get into the biceps a little bit. And friends, that is workout 2. All right, I'll see you back here next time for workout 3.